welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today. My name is Heather Anderson of So Heather, and I started my YouTube channel recently for the same reason I started my blog 6 years ago, and that is to help women look and feel amazing, because I believe if you look good and you feel good, then you're going to exude confidence, and confidence will get you anywhere you want to go. So today, I first want to start off by saying thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you would also subscribe to my channel, I would love that. You can hit the little subscribe button below. But I do want to give a quick shout out to one of my dearest friends and fellow influencers and fellow YouTubers. She's actually a huge YouTuber. Her name is ERIN'S, and her YouTube channel is called BUSBEE TV, and her blog is BUSBEE Style. And Erin is inspired me to start a YouTube channel. She's an amazing woman. We met 6 years ago and we started blogging together. People have called us blogger sisters because we kind of look alike. We have the same color hair and we're about the same size. But not only is Erin a dear friend of mine, but she is a true inspiration to me, and she has helped me tremendously start my YouTube channel. She actually came out with a YouTube tutorial, and it is phenomenal. It helped me so much in starting my channel. So if you or anyone that you know is looking to start a YouTube channel, I highly recommend checking out her tutorial. I will link her blog and her YouTube channel as well as that tutorial in my description box below. So let's get started with today's topic, which I'm going to share what I eat and what I do to stay fit in my 40s. And along the way, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips to help you stay fit as well. So be sure and listen to this entire video because I think all 5 tips are definitely important. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is what I eat for breakfast every day, and this is a protein shake. So this is a plant-based. It's gluten-free, it is vegan, and it is a protein shake. As I said, I'm going to show you guys exactly this. I will link this as well in the description box below, but this is the protein powder that I use. I've been using this for years. It's got a lot of greens in it. Obviously, it has protein in it, but you know, this shake I've been drinking in the mornings probably for about the last 10 years now. It helps me stay full until lunchtime. It makes me feel good and energized. It's full of vegetables, and I do put a little bit of fruit. I put blueberries and bananas in it and spinach, but I'll again leave the full recipe below because it's not only good for you, but it is very delicious. So I think that is tip number 1, is to eat a healthy breakfast, and this protein shake I think is the perfect way to start out any day. I always drink it right before I work out, and it doesn't leave me feeling too full or anything like that. So I highly recommend drinking this shake every morning. It will honestly, I think, change your life. So tip number 2 is to eat clean. And, you know, I've been eating clean, I guess I could say, for, you know, probably over 10 years now. I lost my dad to lung cancer about 7 years ago. And I started eating organic back then after I lost him, because I feel like I read that book, the China study, which did, you know, was this huge study on what causes cancer in our diets. And it found that, you know, diets high in red meat and dairy can cause cancer. And so I basically don't eat either of those things. Yes, I do eat cheese on occasion. So yes, I guess you could say I eat dairy, but certainly not a lot of it, because I rarely will eat cheese, but I do love a good charcuterie board every once in a while. But basically I eat like paleo. So I eat a lot of vegetables, I eat a lot of salads, I eat a lot of lean meat like chicken and fish. I snack on nuts. One of my favorite things to snack on are these organic mixed nuts, and actually get them at Tom Thumb. They've got almonds, cashews, and pecans, and they're just delicious. I snack on these all day long and love them. I also like to snack on celery sticks and almond butter, maybe with like some goji berries on top or raisins. I like to snack on gluten-free granola that's amazing. So, you know, just different things. But again, for lunch, I always eat like a salad with some sort of protein on it, like chicken or fish. And then for dinner, I'll have a small piece of protein like salmon. I eat salmon a lot, or chicken, and shrimp or something. And then with a vegetable like, you know, broccoli, asparagus. I love raw vegetables and just dipping them in hummus, or, you know, olive oil and vinegar is always good. It's kind of drizzled on top with salt and pepper. But as you can see, my diet is really full of a lot of vegetables. Mainly, I would say it's 80% vegetables, and then with the nuts and the lean white meats kind of sprinkled in there. And yes, I cheat every once in a while. Like I said, of course, you know, on Sundays we get together with my family and we'll have amazing appetizers, and I will definitely eat those, like cheese and crackers and things like that. And I do have a sweet tooth, so I will allow myself to have a small dessert every day, whether that's a handful of chocolate covered almonds or a small piece of cake, or, you know, pie or a brownie or something like that. My friends always joke with me because every time we go to dinner or lunch, they're like, oh, I'm glad Heather's here because that means we're gonna get dessert. So I definitely am a firm believer in eating clean, but certainly you don't have to eat clean 100% of the time. I would say if you try and eat clean, maybe, you know, 85 to 90% of the time, you'll be okay. And you will be able to maintain a healthy weight, or you'll be able to lose weight if that's what you're wanting to do. And again, these are just tips. These are just lifestyle ways, things that work for me. I'm certainly not saying these things work for everyone. This is just what has worked for me my entire life. I've, you know, pretty much been a healthy weight my entire life. I have 2 children, and I was able to lose my weight very quickly after each of them, and I've maintained the same weight pretty much since I was, you know, in high school. I'm probably 7 pounds heavier than I was in high school, but that's okay. Okay, tip number 3 is to drink water throughout the day. And, you know, I'm sure you guys have heard this, drink 8 glasses of 8-ounce glass of water every day. So that's basically 64 ounces of water. So that's definitely what I try to do. I had a volleyball teacher, our coach, tell me in high school, you know, or our entire team actually, you know, give up Cokes, don't drink anything else during the day except water. And so we all did that, and I swear I lost like 7 pounds in like a week or 2. So it does work. I don't know what your thing is, if it's Cokes or Sprites, or, you know, I think tea's okay, but I still feel like if you drink water most of the time, and you certainly get those 64 ounces of water in every day, you're not going to really want anything else to drink because you're not going to be thirsty at all. And I recommend drinking Essentia. This is definitely the best water there is out there on the market, and the reason is because this is high in alkaline, and you want your body to be more alkaline based than acidic based, and that is because an alkaline based body, and it becomes that way because of your diet, will fight disease, and it will fight off cancers and things like that, whereas an acidic type of, you know, chemistry in your body is going to feed those diseases. So that is why you want your body to be an alkaline based, you know, body versus the acidic, because certainly you want a body that fights disease and not feeds it. So definitely try to drink as much water as you can every single day. The next thing I want to talk about is exercise, and you should definitely exercise on a regular basis. So, you know, I personally exercise 6 days a week. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to, you know, for any other reason other than letting you know that's what works for me. That's what makes me feel good. I exercise not because I'm trying to lose weight, not because I'm, you know, maybe I'm trying to maintain my weight, but I exercise 6 days a week more for the mental aspect of it more than anything else. It makes me feel happier. It makes me feel, you know, have a sharper mind. It makes me feel more relaxed, have less anxiety. So, you know, for me, that's the main reason why I exercise 6 days a week. Otherwise, I would just do it 3 days a week, because I think you can certainly get a toned, fit body by exercising 3 days a week. You know, so what I do, you know, at my exercise routine, I do BIKRAM yoga 3 to 4 times a week. If you haven't heard of BIKRAM yoga, it's amazing. You leave the studio every time feeling like $1 million, and that is no exaggeration. It's a 90-minute hot yoga class. They leave the room at 105 degrees and you sweat like you've never sweat before. But you're detoxifying, you're rejuvenating your every single cell in your body. It is so good for you, and nothing compares to it. I've done tons of other exercises. I've done Pilates, I've done other types of yoga, I've done weightlifting, and I still do those things. I mix them in. But I will say my number one favorite thing to do is Bikram yoga, and it literally keeps me sane, and I love it. It's like an escape for 90 minutes from my life. I can just go in there and I can meditate and I can, detach from life, and it's just me and the mat and my sweat, and it is awesome. So I highly recommend trying it. I do the one in Dallas, in Lakewood. If you don't live in Dallas, there's tons of Bikram studios around the country, and I think they even have them outside the country as well. So I will leave the link to their website in my description box below. So the other 2 to 3 days a week, I try to lift light weights. My doctor has told me, as well as I've heard this numerous times, that definitely women over 40 have a higher chance of getting osteoporosis. My mother has it actually as well. So and they said you must lift weights. Like yoga doesn't count as weightlifting. You have to lift weights to fight against that. So 2 to 3 times a week, I'll do an hour-long weightlifting class at the YMCA. I also like their HIIT class, which is another class of weightlifting. So whatever it is for you, if you're not a class person, that's okay. Maybe you just would rather go into the gym or go into your garage and have your light weights with you, and you do a 20 to 30 minute home workout, like that's fine. Whatever it is for you, but I highly recommend lifting weights, light weights at least twice a week. It doesn't have to be that you work out 6 days a week. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what works for me. So find a workout regimen that works for you and with your lifestyle. So maybe that's 3 times a week. Maybe that's 4 times a week. But I would say, at a minimum, 3 times a week. And on the days that I can't get to the gym or the yoga studio, because those days certainly do happen, I always take my dog for a walk or go on a bike ride, or do something active so that I'm not, sedentary for that long, because I think just being active is just overall good for your mind and for your body. So tip number 5 to stay fit is to limit your alcohol intake. And don't get mad at me. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, certainly. But I do know a couple things for sure. And one is, this is for me personally, when I drink alcohol, and it makes me feel bad the next day if I drink too much of it. That makes me make bad eating choices, because curing a hangover is not going, a salad and a piece of grilled chicken is not going to cure my hangover. I'm going to need a cheeseburger and french fries and then maybe a pizza to do that. So, that's one of the main reasons why I don't drink a lot. I maybe have 1 to 2 glasses of wine once a week or even every other week. Another reason is I typically always get a headache when I drink even just 1 glass of wine, and I don't sleep very well. And so I'm up for hours when I drink wine at night, and I can't drink vodka because it makes me crazy, and I don't like beer. So basically, I'm just not a big drinker, and I just am not. And so if you are, that's okay. I have a lot of friends and family members that are, but if you're trying to lose weight and if you're trying to maintain a healthy weight, I would say limit your alcohol intake, whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you cut back, and if you're drinking 5 nights a week, maybe you cut it back to 2 nights a week, or whatever a reasonable, limit would be that you can put on yourself. Just set yourself a goal and do that. But I want to end with, 4 of these tips were diet related, and one was the exercise. So what that means is the size that you are has so much more to do with what you put in your mouth than how much you exercise. So I've looked it up on the internet, and it says, I think some websites say 75% diet, 25%, exercise. Some say 80-20. Like, I'm going to even go out and say I think it's more like 85% what you eat and 15% exercise. Because the reason I know this for sure is when I was in college and when my kids were really young, I didn't work out. I didn't have time. and I was still the same weight and the same size. Now, was I as toned and was I as, fit? Of course not, because I didn't work out. So for sure, exercise is going to make you feel toned. It's going to give you a better, looking figure. But it certainly is going to help you, change the size that you are. So it's much more important that you eat clean and that you drink a lot of water and that you, limit your alcohol intake than it is if you exercise like a maniac. So just keep that in mind. I feel like it's all a balance. I feel like it's different for everyone. Again, these 5 tips are only recommendations for you. This is what has worked for me for 20 plus years, so I hope this helped you. Please let me know if you have any questions below. You can find more nutrition information on my blog, but obviously more style information as well, as I mostly blog about style, but I do throw in a few nutrition posts every once in a while. I've written about a couple of different things, so I'll leave those related blog post links below as well. So thank you again for stopping by today, and please let me know if you have any questions, and you guys have a fabulous day, and until next time, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.